Hey there, it's James Schofield again, and I'm outside. I was taking a little bit of time. I'm taking a little bit of a break. Where I'm recording at, we've got people downstairs. My niece is doing nails for somebody, so just taking a little bit of a break from some of my auditions that I was doing this morning, and just really wanting to test this out too, because I've got a new tripod slash selfie stick thing. And then I've also got the Movo shotgun mic that I've been using now. So I haven't really been able to actually stress test the microphone or really do anything with it much, just because I've been working more on the actual voiceover stuff and doing the auditions. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm really excited about this microphone, but I'd rather not audition with this microphone. So, what did I want to talk about on this video? This one, I kind of wanted to talk about working through it. And what do I mean by that? Well, obviously in the voiceover world, we're performers. And, we have to put on a voice. We have to put on a face. And sometimes that can be hard to do when, you're going through real life issues. Myself. That's what I'm doing. I'm going through a divorce, and it's very hard. Obviously, this isn't a channel to really get into it, but it's a divorce that I didn't want, and kind of working through missing that marriage and missing my wife. And how do you get through that, though? And how do you not let that come through when you're in the booth? I'm still struggling with that. I'm still trying to figure that out. Still trying to figure out how to either use it. Sometimes, if I have a character who's going through some sort of pain, being able to use it and still keep that professionalism and be able to continue on afterward. Because, with line reading, it might be something where I'm completely devastated one line, and then it skips half a page down, because it's skipping everybody else's dialogue. It's half a page down, and I'm not, upset anymore for some reason, right? So I need to be able to switch it on and off. So using the pain that I'm going through now to drive that, but then being able to turn it off. And then for everything else, for, doing commercials, most of those are going to be pretty upbeat, pretty smiley, even if, they're more authoritative, or even though they're even explainer videos or anything like that, right? You want to have a smile when you're doing it, because that smile comes through in the audio. But how do I do that? I'm going through arguably one of the most profound pains of my life right now. So how do I use that in my work, and how do I take it out of my work as well? So it's a balancing act. And for me, it's really just been about focusing on the work itself. I've been trying to really make sure to cover... Voice actors can't talk. I've been trying to channel the emotion in a healthy way. And by doing that, I'm really taking it into the characters that are going through that pain, and using the character as a way to process that pain through, and use it as a way to create a connection with that character. And then for the stuff that I need to be happy for, I just need to keep reminding myself that, hey, voiceover is voice acting, so sometimes I have to act happy. That's the job, right? I don't really have much divine wisdom or anything to provide other than keeping in mind that it's your job, and you've got to be able to push through it, even if you're dealing with struggles. And I also want to make sure that people know, if you're just getting into voice acting, plug into the voice acting community, whether it's a Discord server or a Facebook group, or shoot, an email thread, whatever you need to do to plug into the voice acting community, do it. Because, yeah, not just the networking aspect, because, you know, in business you need to network, but that's not the only reason why I'm saying to get plugged in. The community itself is so supportive of each other. It's, in my opinion, has been one of the most supportive industries that I've worked in. You know, in my career, I've worked in the corporate world. I've worked, you know, doing recruitment. I've worked IT. I've worked retail. I've worked in a call center. I've worked as a janitor. Okay, I've done a bunch of different jobs, worked in a bunch of different industries, and done a bunch of different things. And the voiceover, voice acting community is one of the most supportive ones that I've come across out of any industry that I've ever worked in. So get plugged into that. The joys of video outside. I don't know who's honking, but somebody is. Anyway, so get plugged into that, because they're going to be there for you. They're going to be there to help you through it. And they're going to be able to allow you to vent when you need to. You know, you're going to be able to find people who are going to allow you to process through things before that audition. Allow you to cry, allow you to scream, allow you to yell, allow you to get all of it out before you need to turn it back on for the audition, right? Take a look at communities. Absolutely. Another thing that I've been doing is, you know, pivoting and allowing myself to dive into the technical part of it, you know, because voiceover isn't just the voice. Which, by the way, little plug for myself. I did just start a new podcast called Not Just the Voice. And the whole premise of it is, yeah, we're going to go over voice acting. We're going to go over voiceover. But it's not just the voice. So we're going to go over some of the technical aspects and some of the networking and marketing that you have to do. And really, it's going to be a chronicle of my journey as well, since I'm only about a month into voice acting so far. So take a look at that podcast if you haven't done so already. I'll put a link down below. But point is, you know, voiceover is not just the voice. And so I've been also making sure that, hey, I've got some downtime. I'm starting to feel sad. So what I do is I start looking at my gear. I start working on my gear, because I've got, you know, a few different options now. I've been trying to build up like my microphone closet. And so I've got a lot of different microphones that I'm kind of playing around with, seeing what they work for what, seeing how they react to my voice. So getting buried in that has been really helping me as well. But again, it's all a balancing act. You know, I don't want to get too buried in it, because I can't completely avoid what I'm going through. I need to be able to process through it, and I understand that. But there are those times that I just need to forget about it. You know, last night, for instance, that was a time I just needed to forget. And so I did. And apparently I ended up getting cast for a new indie animation last night. And that was just me trying to forget what was going on. Oh, I love the voice acting community. I love voice acting. This is why. I'm going through some pain. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pop into a voice chat just to forget. And next thing you know, I'm reading a script with somebody, and they go, oh, by the way, you need to be that character. I want to cast you. I didn't even plan to audition. It just happened. So, point is, after almost 10 minutes of rambling, the too long didn't read of this, the TLDR, is get plugged into the voice acting community if you haven't already. You know, we can easily feel like we're on our own islands because we're just sitting in our own booth, working from home. On the occasion we get the live session. But, you know, most of the time, what? You record it, you send it, they reply back with what they like and don't like, you re-record it, you send it, and then they say, cool, here's your money, right? So we can feel like our own island. So definitely get plugged into that community, because we're not just our own islands. Or if we are, we're like Hawaii, where we've got multiple islands all together. So definitely plug into that voice acting community. I know I've said it a few times, but I'm going to keep saying it. Plug into the community, because not only are they going to give you, help you with resources, obviously, they're going to help you with your technique. They're going to help you with all the ins and outs of voice acting in general, but they're also going to be there for you. Okay? I guess that's the wisdom I want to impart, is seek that community, because they're not just going to be there for the voice acting, they're going to be there for you. So, but yeah, if you like these videos and you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button below. That way you can be notified whenever I have new videos coming out, and it really helps me, gets my channel boosted up, so that way I can continue giving you this awesome content. But until the next video, thanks for letting me give you some sound.